Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be installing an electronic deer whistle on my GR Corolla. So I've got these on a couple other cars and they have worked beautifully for me. These are not the cheap little stick-on ones that you see in the stores. This is an electronic one, so it has a lot greater range and it works a lot better. The little stick-on ones really don't work at all. And I have found this to be very effective since I added one to my first car. The first one I put it on was my 2009 Corolla Turbo S. And it's been very effective on the road trips. I've had a lot better luck with deer staying away and the way they react when I do see them. So I'm a big believer in it. I was actually introduced to these by a guy that owned a trucking company, and after they installed these on their trucks, which they had hundreds of trucks, they saw a decrease of 92 or 93%, somewhere in that area, of deer hits. So it was definitely a huge difference. So it's not foolproof, obviously. The deer are still wild animals, elk, whatever. This will work on them too. But it is definitely an additional tool and a benefit to help prevent deer hits. For any of you guys that have had a deer jump in front of you, you know, it's no fun, you know, damaging your car. It can total your car. It can injure you or kill you. So anything I can do to put the odds in my favor, I'm for that. So let me show you what this is and we'll get started putting it in. It's a pretty simple thing to install. So this is how this comes packaged. This is the actual sensor right here. So, and it comes with a little switch. And so you just mount it somewhere behind your grill, and one wire goes through the firewall to the switch, and you have a power wire that goes to power, accessory, or the battery, and the switch has a ground, and that's it. It's real simple, guys. So let me kind of show you. So this is what the sensor looks like right here. So what I did is I just got a bracket, something that would work, and I used the factory hole right there to mount that to it. And I drilled a couple holes to fit the bracket. And so it'll sit right there behind the grill, nice and tidy. You won't even see it. So I'm gonna run, so here's the two wires that come from it. So the red one obviously is gonna go to a power source, and this is fused already. So, and then the black one goes through, this has to be fished through the firewall and then connected to the switch that's going to be inside. So there's just two wires. And then what I'm going to do is I've got a little bit of the black tubing. So I'm going to put that in and around this wire. And I think I'm going to run it kind of right along this route and run it right along here, because I can get power from here and then I can weave it around, and there's a grommet back in there, and I can poke through there to get the black wire through. So what I'll actually do is I'll go from here, from the engine side, I'll poke through the grommet, and then I'll attach the wire. There's a really long wire from the switch, and then I'll bring that out and I'll make the connection under here. So I'll show you the switch. So here's a little switch. It's just real simple. On off, there's two wires, one short for grounding under the dash somewhere, and one's longer to go into the engine bay. And then there's a little on-off, and you can mount this. You can screw it to something, or it comes with a set piece of double-sided tape too that you can mount it. So I'll put it under the dash somewhere where I can reach it. I did take off this undercover right here so I can get up and see a little bit better under there. And there's just 2 screws and then some clips, and it pops down. So I just wanted to kind of give a rough idea of what this is. You do not have to take the bumper off to do this. I could easily do this with the bumper on just by taking off the cover, this cover right here. But I already had the bumper off, so I was doing a few other things, so I thought I would just do it at the same time and get this knocked out. So let me get the covering on it, get it tie strapped around, and get the wire poked through, and we'll connect them, and we should be good to go. So I just test fit this piece, and it lies flat and lines up. So I just wanted to make sure that this did not interfere. So I have it running from the whistle. I used this little center hole right there, ran it through there and then up, and I just kind of tie strapped it right along there and then under the intake snorkel, and I've got it over to here right now. So the positive's long enough that I can just bring that right into there. So now I need to get the negative from the switch into the engine bay. So that's my next chore. So I removed the top of the air box and just the tube here, just so I can get my hands back in there. And I thought I would try to show you where you can see my punch right there. So I just punched it through the rubber grommet there. There's a big rubber grommet kind of behind this heater hose. You can kind of see there. And I just put a hole in it, and now I'm going to stick a coat hanger down through there so I can pull the wire through. Okay, as you can see, here's my hanger. So I'll attach the long black ground wire to it and see if I have some luck pulling it through. Alrighty guys, here's my hanger. You can see where I had the tape. There's my wire. It actually pulled apart right here. It came through okay, and then it pulled apart, which is fine. So because now I got the wire coming through. So now I'll figure the kind of route it back through there. I think I'll bring it behind the ECU, and then that one gets connected to this one. So make that connection, and I'll put it in some tubing also. So I'll do that real quick. Then we just have to make this connection for the positive, and then ground the switch inside, and we're done. So let's get rocking. So I snapped off this piece right here, and this little corner piece, that's this guy right here. So, and I found this bolt right here, and it ended up grounding it too. Let's see if I can show it to you. Where is it? There it is. So it's right here, and I just ran the wire through here, right here, and down and around and under here. And I'm gonna mount this, the little on-off switch, just right down under the steering column so I can just reach under. It'll be completely hidden, but I can just flip it on and off from there. So it'll be real easy. So I just need to pull the excess for the long wire through, and then I can go ahead and put the cover back on and snap all these pieces here, and this will be all done in here. And then just make the connection. I just have to connect the two black cables together and then attach the power cable and get some power to it. All right, before I button everything up in here, I figured I would kind of show you what I did. So here's the wire right here, the black wire that I ran from the grommet in there. So I put some of the black covering around it to protect it, and it runs into here, and the red one runs into the positive battery power here, tapped into that, and then those two, positive and negative, run into here, and I trace those all the way down into there, like I'd already showed you, into the sensor. So that's everything under the hood. So this is it buttoned up under the dash. So just this little on-off switch right here, which I can just reach under the dash. So it's totally hidden. So one wire here runs down to the ground that is right behind here. And then the other long wire runs through into the engine compartment. And this is what it sounds like. You flip this on. So the nice thing about this is that it doesn't matter and rely on the speed like those little cheap ones do that you stick on top of the bumper that kind of go, you know, on top of the bumper right here. This is either on or off, and you don't hear it when you're traveling down the road. So, but I think it worked out really well. Like I said, I bought this at a hardware store and just trimmed it down with my Dremel and to fit what I wanted. And then I drilled this hole and used the factory location for that. And then there was one hole already here, right here, that I was able to use, and I drilled this hole and bolted that in there. And yeah, so almost looks like it was always supposed to be there, doesn't it? So anyway, that is the electronic deer whistle, guys. If you live in deer country or elk or anything else that you see a lot of animals, I do highly recommend it. Just, you know, improve your odds. And anyway, hey, hope this helps you out. It's a simple install. And, you know, please comment, like, subscribe, share. And until next time, guys, we'll see you down the road.